Hey guys, this is a quick intro video to an idea I have for a YouTube channel named SQL Answers. Didn't see anything really that was exactly the same on YouTube. I saw a lot of channels dealing with interview type questions that you might get. We're interviewing for some kind of position, but this is more about real world problems that you encounter and you're looking for a quick answer. So my name's Bill Ennis. My email is below. I'm going to give you a little background on myself. Try and go fast, not to bore you too much, but I do want to give you an idea of my experience so that you have a better idea what kind of things you can ask. So I got a bachelor's and master's in electrical engineering and computer science from the University of Illinois at Chicago. I've got 30 years of experience with databases, programming, scripting, design, and implementation. I've worked as a software engineer, a DBA, data modeler, database programmer, and now an independent consultant. And I've got certifications from Oracle and AWS. Here's some of the companies I work for. I worked for Motorola when I got out of school. I worked for most of the time on a project for a company named Nextel, which is now known as Sprint. And I worked with Informix at that time. Then I moved on to SSA, which is an ERP company, and they were going through a migration from AS400 to Unix at the time. So, and they were having a lot of performance issues. So I had a very strong focus on performance. I actually worked in the performance team. And while I was there, I transitioned from Informix to Oracle and a little bit of Sybase because they were supporting all the major relational databases in the transition to Unix. After that, I moved on to Nations Bank, which merged with Bank of America while I was there. And I worked as an Oracle DBA. And my main project there was writing a suite of utilities that I named Oremon that the bank wound up using and rolling out for all their production monitoring of all their Oracle servers. After that, I moved to a company named Diamond Technology Partners, which is a consulting company. At that time, this was about 1999, so this was during the dot-com boom. Worked on several projects, bringing up new uh, probably known as Web 1.0 websites, but there was some e-commerce involved. And there's one site that I just did a quick search to see if it was still up and running. FYE.com. It's an entertainment site where you buy videos and music. And I wrote the catalog load for that website. And after Diamond, I moved on to Ritchie Capital, which was a hedge fund. So I worked with a lot of financial data from various providers, Bloomberg, Mergent, you name it. They had it. They used it for their, equity and equity options, trading and bond data and everything that was needed in the applications that the traders were using. While I was there, I led the DBA team. And for the last 15 years, I've got my own company named Server Side Technology Solutions, and I've had clients in the hedge fund space, in online education, healthcare services, insurance, transportations, even lawyers. Here's some of the technologies I work with. So, mainly we want to focus on databases. So, Oracle, SQL Server, MySQL, Postgres, Informix. I also mentioned a little bit of Sybase. Even looked into some object-oriented databases, but not extensive experience with those. For programming, I've worked with all the database stored procedure languages. So that would be PL SQL, TSQL, and also programming languages like Perl, Java, Unix Shell, PowerShell, C, C++, and starting to work a little bit with Python now. And cloud technologies, I've worked mostly with AWS and mostly within AWS with EC2, which is their on-demand servers. DMS, which is database migration service, use kind of like replication engine. RDS, which is their relational database service, and Lambda, which is serverless computing. So back to the channel and what I've got in mind. This is just a very quick, crude example of what I've got in mind, someone could say, hey, in Oracle, does the setting of a default to an unknown in a column handle existing data rows? So I've got a table and I've got existing data out there and I want to change the default value to null. What happens with the existing data? So we just just go through, create the table without the default, and then insert a row, and then select from the table, show that it's null, and then we'll alter the table and change the default to unknown, and then select again and look. And the answer is no, it doesn't. Again, this is a real quick, crude example, but these are the types of questions, and hopefully we'll get a little bit more interesting as we move along. In order to submit the questions, I created a quick app, and I am by no means an app developer, but this is an Oracle Application Express, so apex.oracle.com. I'll have a link in the video description so that you guys know how to reach this site. So you'll get to this page, you click on Create, and a form will pop up. You can provide your email so that I can tell you when it's been submitted. Your question text would be entered in here. And then later on, I'll come along and enter the answer URL, and submission date's just going to get populated automatically. And here's the logistics for the channel. So you'll submit your questions to the link that we just looked at. Please be as descriptive as possible. And here's the URL. And again, I'll have it in the description of this video. As the questions come in, I'll select one for the next video and we'll go over it. Over time, hopefully we'll build up a repository of these questions and, I don't know, create a playlist, create a class, and see where this goes. If the solution I've given you helps in any way, please like and follow the channel for more. And let's see how this goes. Thanks, guys.